Okay, then let's see what we can get out of this really badly checked log. Okay then, right, what I have here is I have a cherry log. I only got this, I think, day before yesterday, and this is how it came. Right, you can see there's some severe checking on the ends. Right, but what I'm hoping is that the center here isn't too checked. Right, first thing I need to know is how wide is it? It is 10 inches, so I'm going to need about 10 inches in the middle there. I'd say the checking is probably going a little bit deeper than that. So this is not going to be a 10-inch bolt. Right. Right, now, a couple of things to start with. We'll look at the end here. That's the pith, right? Now, if I wasn't going to process this bowl immediately, which I am going to do, I'm going to process this log immediately, what I would do is I would cut down there, and cut down there, or crosswise, whichever way you want, but I would cut that pith out. But because I'm going to process this almost immediately, I'll just put one cut straight down the middle, and it's easier to turn the pith off than it is to try and cut it off, especially since the weather outside is not all the best. So I'm going to be using the small electric chainsaw in here, right, and there's the pith on the other side, so I would make sure that these line up on both ends, right. Now, as I said, the first thing I want to do is find out how much that checking is going down, so hopefully I can get a 10-inch bowl out of it. So what I'll do is I'm going to throw this onto the sawhorse, which I'm going to bring in inside here, and see how bad that checking is. Right, so I'll be right back. Right then, as I said, I'm just going to be using the small electric chainsaw here. I'm not actually even sure how sharp this thing is. I can't remember when I sharpened it last. And I'm just going to lock the end off just to see how far down that checking is actually going. Right, so I'll set up for that. Just make sure that this is well out of the way. What the hell? Right, so I'll cut that off there first. Right then, there is some checking in here. Right, but we'll give it a shot. We will just have to CA some of it. So I'm just going to take that there. Right then, yeah, there's still some checking there. Right, now what I want to do is spin this around so the camera can see it properly. So I can show you the other cut, so we'll be back in a second when I do that. Right, then we're flipped around. Now, where I want to cut is I want to cut a flat about there. I want to cut a flat about there. And I want to cut that there, which will give me two different bowl lengths. The reason I'm cutting a flat on the bottom is it makes it much safer and easier to handle on the bandsaw. As I said, I'm not too pushed about where that one is once I end up with a flat. Right, I've obviously hit some, if you've seen the sparks there are spikes sticking out of this to hold big logs. So I'm going to have to either cut this on the bandsaw or sharpen this. Right, so I'll be back to you when I've done it. You can see basically what I'm doing. Flat, flat, flat. Right, then we cut it off. It's actually quite a nice piece of cherry. I had to take another couple of cuts off the end just to get rid of the checking. I'll just still a slight bit there we might have to do. So what I've ended up with is a little bit less than an 8-inch bowl. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an 8-inch circle on it. Right, and then I can turn it down to round on the lathe. Right. And I'm going to cut that out on the bandsaw. Right. Lower the blade down. Now notice I'm standing off to the side of the bandsaw. Sorry, wire's in the way. Get out of the way. Stick it up there. I'll keep it out of the way. Right, I'm standing off to the side of the bandsaw. My hand is never going to move towards the blade. Right, that's very rough. Because it's a small ball blank, I'm not worried about being too accurate with it. Then what I'll do is I'll grab the 8-inch circle again, put it in the middle, and stick it up there, and that's guaranteed that's the middle. Right then, we'll go over to the lathe. Right then, we've got this on the lathe, and as I said, sometimes you're going to get logs like this that somebody else has cut and the ends haven't been sealed, so it's basically a case of make the best you can out of it. Right, now there's a piece there that I don't know what's going to work. Right, hopefully I'll cut that check there out, or that, whatever that is, out. I think I've got all the checks out of it. Right, first thing I'm going to do, of course, is round it off and face off here. Just put it brown out at some stage because the power's off. Right, so first thing, round it off. Now, as you can see by the checking, this log has been down a while, but I don't know how long it's been down. It doesn't feel too wet. Let's see how we get with it. And you look, you might get about a 7-inch bowl out of it. Right, and we're round. Don't know what that is there. It's something in the wood. It's a little check there. Right, the pith is still in this part. This is where I cut it, but I'll cut that down. Right then, flatten off this side. Right then, so I have the flat jaws on that chuck, so I will do a flat tenon. Right, cut into that. Make sure the surface is flat. And surface is flat. Right, put a small little foot in. Right there. And there. Right, small foot. And now we start shaping this. I'm just going to knock this corner off and we're going to sharpen this gouge. Wood is cutting lovely, so it should only have to sharpen it once. There's still a couple of check marks here, which hopefully I'm going to cut out. Right, just going to put an edge in this gouge. I'll be back in a sec. Right, then we're all nice and sharp. Right, so I'm going to pull cut into that foot. Right. Not worried about finished cuts at the moment. Just want to get the rough shape in. Over kind of a pudding bowl look here. There's something really punky just there. That's going to have to be treated. You know, to get that pudding bowl look that I'm after. Right, it's roughly the shape, but there's a bump there. That's better. Right, I just need to curve that end in a little bit more. There's the pudding bowl. Fly knocking around there. Now get a finished cut on that. I can hear something clacking there. We'll see what that is. Right then, it's a split there. That's punky. That's punky. Right then, I'm gonna have to do some CA on this there on that punky part. Possibly a bit of filling as well. Same there. There. Yeah, possibly. Right, so I'm going to CA those and I'll be back in a sec. Right then, we're all CA'd. I've actually had to fill that one a little bit. That one should be just fine after sanding. Right, so I'm going to sand the outside of this and I'll be back in a sec. Right, just buffing the wax off. For a log that checked, I didn't know if I was going to get anything out of it, to be honest. But this isn't bad. It's got a few problems. With a log like that, there's not much you can do about it. Right. The whole idea of this video was for me to go from a log that's really badly checked to a bowl, just to show not to throw out stuff because it's got checks in it, but you can get something quite nice out of it. Right, now any cracks that are in this have been CA'd. Right, that's one of the pieces of punky, and there's the other piece. That piece is really punky, but it's not too bad. Right, then we flip it over and get the other side done. Right, then we're flipped over. First thing I want to do, of course, is flatten here off. And I don't know how far down I'm gonna go. I'm gonna have to go, and I'm gonna have to go down as far as there at least. But we'll see. Very slightly low. Now, I do have a big crotch piece of this, which should be quite fun to do. Right, let's see how that is. Edge. Now I do want to run some CA down that. See that piece there? It's adding interest, and there's a good chance of that flying. So I'm going to take it off and run some CA down there before I do anything else to it. Right, let's define this bowl. About there. Since I'm going for the pudding bowl look. Right, now we just start hollowing it. And I hope it stays together. I'm starting to hit that loose piece now. I can feel it. Yeah, there it is there. Right. So I hope that stays, because that'll be quite interesting in the rim. Down a bit. Angle of that wall is quite steep. Yeah, I think that might actually stay. I'll throw some more light on the subject. Hitting something punky there, I'd say. Yeah, I'm just hitting down the end here of that. The gouge is trying to bounce. Down below the punkiness, I'm trying to get a decent cut on it. Yeah, that's not bad. Right, we start taking away some more of the middle. Right, just need to put an edge on this gouge. Right, that should get us to the end of this. Much better cut. Yeah, much better cut. Right, get rid of this. Have a look. There's another punky line just there. See, my nail is actually going into that. So when I get this down a bit further, I'm gonna have to CA that. I might cut through quite a lot of it. It's the punky piece that was on the outside, that's inside of it. Right, let's get a finish cut on this. Well, not an absolute finish cut, because I still want to cut it after I get that after I get CA onto that piece. I'm going to take it off again and CA that, because that is quite punky. Right then, that's CA'd, it's dry. I don't know how good it's going to be though. So we'll try one last finish cut on this. Just very light. Okay, just going to go very lightly here. I'm just really using the weight of the tool and just letting it ride. If you do that, you get little things like this or that. Alright then. Now I'm going to sand and finish the inside of this. And I'll be right back. Right, just buffing the wax off. It didn't turn out too bad for what was basically a bad log. I knew the checks were in it, just why I used it, but I didn't know it was punky inside. There we go. That actually turned out quite interesting, that bit there. But this red cherry is a lovely colour on it. That's where one of the checks was. That might check more. I don't know. This one will have to stay on that shelf for a while before it goes out for sale. Right then, I'll flip this over, do the bottom, and give you a better look at it. So I'll be back in a sec. Right then, there we have it. Very nice little 7.5 by 3 red cherry bowl. Didn't turn out too bad at all, considering the state the log was in. I have the other side of it here, which is not as bad at all as this one. I deliberately picked the worst side to do on video. Like the pit's cut out of this and all, so this one will be a lot. This one will actually end up bigger and nicer, I'd say. Maybe bigger, I don't know. Have a look. Slightly, not much though. Not what we're talking about. But what I wanted to show on that one was that just because a log is checked does not mean that it's rubbish. You can do stuff with it, right? You just have to, what would you say? I won't exactly say lower your expectations from what you'll get out of it, but that's a lot nicer than a piece of firewood, put it that way. Right, so if you enjoyed that one or got anything out of it, if you wouldn't mind leaving a like on the video, and I'll see you in the next one.